Hey guys, Luke here, and welcome back to episode 3 of the New Zealand Warriors Rugby League Live 3 Crew Mode. Now, to start off this episode, we're actually going to take a look at a press conference I did leading into round 1. Let's take a look at it right now.
Congratulations on winning the Auckland Lions. Had to be an incredible feeling winning in front of the home crowd.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was an incredible feeling. The home crowd, they were thoroughly behind us. I think they booed off every other team that came and versed us, and yeah, definitely felt a lot of Warriors fans in the crowd. Obviously, it's in Auckland, so there's got to be way more Warriors fans than anybody else. But yeah, I felt like we put on a pretty good show. Group stages were a little bit iffy, but once we got to the finals, we really dug in and we absolutely flogged a few teams. I think it was Cowboys and the Roosters, I think, from memory, and we beat, I think it was the Sharks in the semi-final. They were definitely a tough challenge for us, but it's a funny scenario with the New Zealand Warriors because we've got all these players, we've got all this talent in the side, and you know, as a fan, when I was at the Tigers, you look at the Warriors side and you go, man, I'd love to have him at the side, and now I'm coaching them. I was definitely right. You definitely do want to have them in your side, but the Nines, you'd think that they would absolutely destroy the Nines every season, but it just it didn't happen that way for whatever reason. I mean, I'm not sure if I can't even put a finger. I can't even really speculate on it. It's unfair to other coaches and stuff to speculate on that sort of stuff, but. Yeah, maybe I'm just a specialty with the Nines. I mean, I won the Nines first year at the Tigers, and now I've come here at the Warriors and won a title, or won the Auckland Nines, I should say, in my first year. And yeah, I'm pretty happy about winning it the first year. I mean, you always go to the Nines. And it's not like a huge achievement. The Nines, obviously, it is nice to win the Nines, but I kind of felt a little bit of pressure being in front of the home crowd and thinking, man, I have to win. We have to perform this time. Otherwise, man, I'm going to be judging this big time. Which is completely different to when I was at the Tigers. I didn't even care. I think I even sent over like a second, third string sort of squad a few times. But yeah, just it was an incredible feeling. I know the boys were extremely proud to win the Auckland Nines, and hopefully we can do it next year. I think that's the plan. Back it up and win it next year.
You've had great success with the Tigers over the last few years. Do you expect to replicate this success, or will you need more time?
Ooh, it's hard to say if we'll need more time. I mean, I've come to the Warriors and I didn't come here to not win anything, obviously. And I mean, you always want to go in, you know, wanting to win titles and trophies and that sort of stuff. That's what a coach wants. It is nice to get those top 8 finishes and, you know, top 4 finishes, and it looks all nice and everyone says you're a good coach. But can't even pronounce my words there. But at the end of the day, you know, when you're retired and you're sitting at home, you look at how many titles and trophies you've won and how many memories of winning premierships and stuff. You know, that's what I do now. Currently with the Tigers, with the premiership I have for them, got the minor premiership, Auckland Nines. They're all great memories for me, and I'd like to create my own memories at the Warriors. To answer your question, do I think we'll need more time? I don't think so. I'm pretty happy with the squad that we've got. The Tigers, we had lots of inexperienced players. We had, you had Luke Brooks, and we had Curtis Sirenen, James Tedesco, some of those guys, and even the hook position, we had Cameron King come in and play hooker after Robbie Fowler retired. We had a lot of youngsters, and we did very, very well. We did make some big signings in terms of Sam Thaiday and Alex Glenn, the experienced forwards that we needed, as well as Mike Cooper, who's another one, an unsung hero in that lineup for that first season with the signings coming in for me. But obviously, I didn't get to make any signings for this year, but I'm pretty happy with the squad. I think we've got a lot of experience all around. No longer are these players the youngsters that you've come to expect, sort of thing. I mean, you always thought of Sean Johnson and Conrad Harrell and Matt Moyle and all these kids. They ain't kids anymore. They're ready to go. They're ready to rip in this season. You know, I'm expecting big things from all of them.
You've opted for co-captains this season in Sean Johnson and Simon Mannering. Why the co-captains?
The co-captains, that's a great question. Why have I opted for co-captains? Basically, I just figured that, Simon Mannering obviously can do the job. He's been the captain for a long time. Sean Johnson, it was definitely going to be a future captain. I mean, I don't care what you say. He would be a captain no matter what in a few years' time. And I decided, let's just get him in right now. Simon probably won't play the 80 every single game. He will be subbed off at times. Why not have both of them as captains? That's the way I looked at it. Sean definitely deserves to be captain. He's been at the club for a long time now. And, I just think he's ready for it. That's, to answer the question, I think both of them are suited for the job equally.
Conrad Harrell has been a controversial figure at the Warriors since he debuted. He looked at his damaging best in the Nines. How's his preseason been?
Yeah, Connie, his preseason's been really, really good. Very, very impressed by Conrad. Basically, his big problem in previous years, from what I can tell and from what he's told me, is that just off-field antics. His fitness hasn't been up to scratch a lot of the times, and just motivation hasn't been there. And I think I'm a great man motivator. I completely turned around Robbie Farah in the first year, and obviously he retired afterwards. But man, I really managed those young Tigers very, very well, I think. And Conrad Hurrell isn't the easiest to coach, but he's definitely got a lot of talent. He's someone that I'm willing to take a risk on, take a punt on, and basically he's rewarded me. He's rewarded me very, very well. He's got to make sure that he keeps up the good work in training and doesn't stuff around, really. Otherwise, he'll find himself in reserve grade. And, he knows I won't put up with this shit. He knows he'll be shipped off if he starts playing up. And that goes for all the players, to be totally honest with you. But, Conrad Hurley, he's a special talent, and he definitely was incredible at the Auckland Lions. And I expect him to be incredible for the rest of the season. Him, as long as a few other players, to be totally honest with you.
You have a bit of competition for the 5'8" position. Can you let us know who will be wearing the number 6 come round 1?
Wouldn't you like to know he's going to be wearing the number 6 jersey? Now, I can definitely answer that for you. Starting off round 1, it will be Sean Johnson in the 7. In the number 6 will be Chad Townsend. Now, Peter Wallace is a great player, predominantly a halfback, but there's not really too much of a difference, in my opinion, between 5'8" and halfback, apart from one's left, one's right. And, I just think Peter Wallace, he offers a lot more off the bench than what Chad does. And I think Chad, he's obviously got the combination with Sean. He's been playing with him for a few seasons now. And I think Peter Wallace, he can come and do a job off the bench. He can come on, he'll rip in no matter where I put him. And he'll give 110% to the boys, full credit to him. And I think we can put him on a hooker position. I think that's definitely going to be his position as a bench hooker who can come on and cover other positions. And, Peter was a little bit disappointed not be playing in the halves, but he understands and he's putting the team first, and that's exactly the sort of player I want. And I have been known to use a bench hooker in my time at the Tigers, and that's going to be continuing over to the Warriors. Any more questions? No? All right. Okay. Thank you for coming.
Now that the press conference is over and done with and out of the way, we can move into the first game, and funnily enough, we are taking on my old club, the West Tigers. Now, the script couldn't go any perfect, or couldn't go any better, I should say. Taking on the West Tigers, they are my old team. You can see their lineup is a little bit different. I mean, Nguama, I had him on the wing, he's now in the centres. They still have Sirinen and Brooks in the halves, even though I did sign Moses Umbai. Maybe Umbai is going to be off the bench, but the rest of the team is, pretty similar. But you see Chris Lawrence is on the bench there. It's a little bit different. I wouldn't say it's as good as the side that I had, even though I kind of left him in a stronger side than what I played with, I think. I mean, Mbai in the halves would have been really good. Sirinen at lock would have been the ideal situation, but obviously I've left to come to the Warriors, and we're looking like a really good side. I can see here Townsend gets tackled 20 minutes in, I should say. It's the 5th tackle. We're running the ball. It's Cameron McInnes. He does have the ability to put in a little grubber, and it's Simon Mannering looking to reach out and score, but he can't do it. Take a look at a replay here just to show you that Tedesco, one of my favourite players on the game, comes up with a huge play there for the Tigers, but it wasn't all smooth sailing for the Tigers, as Kapua Murray, someone who I didn't really use too much, if at all. I can't really remember him too much, but our Matt Moylan goes through the middle there, and it's Tedesco once again bringing him down there, and we're looking for a try just before halftime, just to break the deadlock. If we can go into halftime with a try, that'd be awesome. Now David Williams, he's going to go in, and he beats Tedesco, and he does score, but no, he doesn't. He's being tackled. Can he get the ball down? Yes, he can. Yes, he can. The Wolfman scores, and it's 4-0. They might be thinking, why is David Williams playing? And that's because Glenn Fisiahi is currently suspended. But Glenn Fisiahi will find himself back into the side once his suspension is over. But at the moment, it is 6-0 at halftime. You can see our completion's 100% going into halftime. So that's really good for us there. You see, straight from, not quite straight from halftime, but one of our first sets, probably our second set in the second half. I think it was Sean Johnson put Marquito or someone into a gap, and then Hurrell finally got it, and he was brought down, but we do have a lot of success down that side. Now it's Marquito on the ball, gets it to Hurrell, gets it to Manu Vadavai. We know how damaging he is. We saw him in the Auckland Lions. He was absolutely ripping apart teams. Tedesco is trying his best. He's coming across, something they actually do on Rugby League Live 3 now. If you run sideways, they will chase rather than just run straight past them. But Manu Vadavai has the legs to get to the line, and he puts us ahead 10-0. Sean Johnson kicks the ball straight over the black dot, and we are now 12-0 up. And we're pretty comfortable at the moment here. I'm pretty confident confident we're going to go on with it. A 6-0, you never know, but right now, feeling really, really good about it. And Mane Vadavai, again, looking for a second. He takes it around Tedesco, and Tedesco, that was pathetic from Tedesco. We have seen in the past, sometimes, the fullbacks, they don't defend very well at times, but Mane Vadavai made him look a right fool there, and Mane Vadavai scores his second try of the game. You see him and Matt Moylan celebrating together there, a new combination. I'm not sure if Matt Moylan was at the club last season, I honestly cannot remember, but yeah, him and Johnson on that right side, as well as Vadavai and Hurrell. That's a really damaging right side, and it's one of the best in the league, I'd have to say. And we went for a fourth try just there. Unfortunately, a forward pass on like the first tackle, I think it was. And you see right here, we come across, and that's just the problem with playing on this camera angle. It's not a huge problem for me, but every now and again, those little things will happen. And you can see they did swerve a little bit, which is really nice from the computer. Because before I'd just be able to run in and just make the tackle, whereas they kind of moved at last second when I dive. So it was pretty nice work there. And Tigers looking for another consolation try here with Breeze Mull, but we did make the tackle with Matty Moylan. I think it was, actually might not have been Matty Moylan, but nonetheless we did make the tackle, and we do pick up a win. First up, round 1, 18-6. You can see our completions dropped off a little bit, but 9 from 11 isn't too bad there, and I do understand what that says. Do not mention it in the comments below. Anyways, let's take a look at the results. You can see Dragons picked up the win, Seagulls, like it's still pretty early days in terms of looking at teams, but you can see the Bulldogs, the grand finalists last year, picked up a pretty solid win against the Sharks first up, and they were also a team we nearly went to as well, a team I probably would have liked to went to the Bulldogs, but nonetheless we ended up at the Warriors, and in the second game, round 2, taking on the Gold Coast Titans. They do have a pretty good side. They have troubled us in the past when I was at the Titans. You see their halves combination of Foran and LG is really, really good. You see Orbison in there is another solid player. Josh Hodgson, a great player. Madalino, former Warrior. Oh man, I would have loved to have had Madalino at the club. You see Sam Tompkins on the bench, which is a bit of a funny signing. I think it was Zillman at fullback. Actually, I can't remember who was at fullback, but yeah, Sam Tompkins on the bench, a bit of a funny one. But Conrad Harrell palms off one. I think it was Kieran Foran this time. Kieran Foran does not miss many tackles. He does not get palmed off the ball very often. Conrad Harrell just did that. He just did that. That's how good Conrad Harrell is at that's how good he's playing at the moment. See, Ben Henry ended up on the receiving end of a pass after a bomb, and we nearly scored a try, but I wouldn't say we butchered a try, because I don't think we probably should have scored, but maybe we could have done a little bit better. I could have passed it out to Manu if I had realised he was out there at the time. But Sean Johnson goes through the gap there, palms off one. It's the fullback, and Sean Johnson will pick up the first try of the game. And what a try it is! It's a typical Sean Johnson try. Actually, maybe we needed a step in there to be a typical Sean Johnson try, but nonetheless, it was a nice little try. And the conversion is off the upright, and it doesn't go over. So he's 0 from 1. Sean Johnson misses the goal, and it remains 4-0. Now, 27th minute here, we get a penalty. 29th minute, we get a penalty. They're on a sin bin warning too, by the way, which I should mention. But we couldn't come up with anything. You see, we do drop the ball there. Johnson puts the ball down, looking for his second try, but there was a knock on just before that. And you see right here, Mitchell Orbison goes straight for a gap there. Was Sean Johnson missing it? So it wasn't all rosy for Sean Johnson. There was a few little errors there. But at halftime, it was 4-0. So that's the main thing. We got the lead going into halftime, and you see 43rd minute here, looking to attack right from the start of the second half. Simon Mettering goes through a gap there, and he is tackled about 15 metres out there, and I think that was Sam Tompkins making it off the bench there, and then they capitalise on it. Like, we couldn't take advantage of the advantage that we had. I know that sounded pretty stupid just then, but I think you understand what I meant. Yeah, we had great field position, couldn't take advantage of it. Titans went up the other end, and they were clinical. Kieran Foran kicks the goal after Madalino's try, and that's the thing. It was kind of annoying because Madalino scored. Had it been any other player, it wouldn't have been that annoying. But I really like Madalino in real life, and I would have loved to have had him at the club. And right here, we do benefit from an error from the Titans. Cuda doesn't make too many errors. That was one of them, and we're looking to capitalise on it big time here. Salamone Carter probably does blow a try, but he actually doesn't, because he does just power his way over. That's how good Carter is, having him and Harrell on either side. It's, they're like for like. They're very, very similar players, both power players, and do have a little bit of speed. But in hindsight, probably should have got the pass off to Wolfman. It would have been an easy try. But I also think it's one of those situations where I couldn't actually get the pass off. So Carter did a good job getting over the line and getting us the win. So getting over the line in two ways: scoring a try and getting us the win as well. So a 10-6 win. It was a pretty scrappy game, but in the end we got the win, and Carter got man of the match. So I was just happy to get away with that one. Titans are a tough side. Looking at the results for round 2 there, and you can see we're on top. There's only 4 teams who are still undefeated. Like, it's pretty crazy for you know, this early on, you'd think there'd be more teams who won the first 2 games, but that wasn't to be. Anyways, that's where the video is going to end. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel as well. If you're new around here, you can follow me on Twitter at MrLuke, Facebook page in the description below, and I'll see you for the next video. Bye guys.